Okay. So last class we had discussed that Nanda Maharaj had gone to Mathura and to pay taxes to Kansa. So when he was returning back, he had met Vasudev, and Vasudev had told him, had warned him
to go back to Vrindavan because Kansa's evil guards are there and patrolling around some nearby villages with their evil deeds and plans.
Yeah, so Nand Maharaj, he kept thinking that, Vasudev had warned him that some evil might happen back in Gokul. Some evil event might happen back in Gokul. So he was trying to come back quickly. And then when he was about to, when he was about to reach,
No, nothing. No, don't need. It's doing.
so he's about to reach Gokul, right? And he's praying in his heart, because a devotee always prays to the Lord. If he's into any difficulty or any, problem in life.
If Krishna was born then who was he praying?
He was praying to Lord Hari. Lord Hari is actually Krishna. So he was praying to Lord Hari only, that he was praying to Vishnu. So Krishna is Vishnu only. But they didn't know that Lord Vishnu is born as Krishna in their own house. So they were praying to Vishnu only. They were devotees of Vishnu only. Okay. And meanwhile, this Kans, because when Narad Muni told him that, when he got to know through Yog Maya, remember Yog Maya told him that Krishna has already taken birth. So he became very scared and he was very fearful. So what did he do after that? Did he sit quietly? No. He kept sending different demons at different time to find that child and kill that child. So he had ordered all the demons, that children who were born 10 days before, whoever, any child who is born, you go and kill that person. So the first demon that this Kansa had sent was Putana. Now Putana was actually, she had this magical power that she could disguise herself. She could change her form. There's another Rakshasi, another demoness like that, who could change her form. Can you tell me which Rakshasi?
In the Ramayana.
Yes, in Ramayana.
I can't remember the name.
Shurpnakha. Shurpnakha also had this boon that she could change her form. She was born not very good looking. She was not very beautiful when she was born. So she had asked Brahmaji, she had done a lot of austerities, and she had also asked Brahmaji that if whenever she wants to change her form, she can change her form.
What should be the topic for today?
Today you can write the embrace of a witch. The topic is the embrace of a witch. The embrace of a witch. Okay. So Putana had two great magical powers. You know what were the two magical powers of Putana? The first magical power was
Embrace of
the witch, of a witch. So the first magical power was that she could change her appearance, and she could also fly in the sky. Okay, these are the two powers that she had. So Putana came to Gokul and she disguised herself as a beautiful lady. If she would have come in her own form as a demoness, everybody would have got scared, right? Everybody would have hidden their children. But because she came so beautifully dressed and so nicely, she was decked with jewels and everything. She came to Gokul. And she was wearing all these pretty clothes and sleek jewelry and everything. Everybody thought that, she is a goddess. She has come from the heavenly planets. And Mother Yashoda and Rohini Mata thought that she is Lakshmi Devi herself, holding a lotus in her hand. And, she's looking for Narayan, and maybe she's come to bless somebody who's very, very nice, who's very, very kind. Someone in the village she's come to bless. So everybody was in awe of her. My God, such a beautiful lady has come. From where has she come? And she would go inside the chambers where the little children are lying in their cradle. Okay, and they would let her go because they would think, okay, this beautiful goddess will go and bless my child. So everybody would let her go. But she had a very secret mission. And what was her mission?
To kill
She was, yes, her mission was to kill all the children. And who had sent her?
Kansa.
Kansa had sent her.
But
So,
she had a inner, what do you call that? You told one day that she had a wish to feed Krishna.
yeah, that story I'll tell you. The backstory I'll tell you. But she had very evil thoughts in her heart. But externally, outwardly, she was showing to the world that she is very nice and very kind, you know. So sometimes we find people like this, you know, they have their outside appearance is very appealing, but their inside there are very dark thoughts, there are very wicked plans. But these plans, these kind of people are usually compared to demons because they have qualities which are very evil. Okay, so we see these kind of people in the world also, right?
now.
They pretend that they are very nice and kind, but inside they don't have good feelings, right? So we should not be like them, and we should be away from such kind of association also. Okay, so Putana then freely moved into Nanda Maharaj's house, and nobody suspected her. Even Yashoda Mata also allowed her to go and see and meet Krishna. Okay, and Krishna was lying down in his jhula, in his cradle, and his eyes were shut. Okay, so she thought that Krishna is just like an ordinary child, you know, he's sleeping. And so she started pushing the cradle so that the child can sleep further, so that the child can sleep, go on sleeping. So then what happened, she now we see that Krishna is a little baby, right? But what do you think, being a little infant, that does Krishna's powers decrease? The Krishna's powers remain the same. He is a supreme personality of Godhead, and his powers will remain the same. He will be all powerful. He will be all full of strength. He will be all beautiful, right? So his powers don't diminish just because he's a small baby. Krishna was only 7 years old, but he lifted the Govardhan hill. How can a 7-year-old even lift his school bag, which is so heavy? But he lifted a full Govardhan hill. That means he has all the qualities. Yeah, with the small finger of his left hand, which is the weakest part of your body, not even right hand. This is the weakest part. You cannot do anything with this finger.
You can lift up this book with your feet.
Yeah, but left hand, little finger, as if he's lifting a mushroom. He felt that light, you know, as if, you know how...
I did it!
Yeah, how heavy is a mushroom? Not at all, right? But we still need these two fingers, our pincers, to carry anything, right? Even if we want to...
I did it! Oh,
Even if we want to carry a pen, even if we want to hold a pen,
Sure,
we need our pincers, right? But anything, we cannot do anything with our little pinky, isn't it?
Yes, we can.
But Krishna, being the supreme personality of Godhead, he can do anything with any of his
I can
senses.
hold this with my pinky.
He can eat with his eyes. He can eat with his eyes also. He doesn't, we need our mouth and our teeth and everything to eat, right?
Digestive system.
But yeah, digestive system. But Krishna can only see the food. He glances at the food and he accepts it. And then he gives it as prasadam, right? That is the power of the Lord. So nobody is equal to God or greater than God. We cannot imitate God, right? So now Putana went inside the chambers where Krishna was sleeping, and what did she do? She picked him up and she wanted to feed Krishna her own milk. But she had very evil thoughts, I told you. So she had applied a poison which is, you know, the most deadliest poison in the world is Kalakut poison. So she had applied that poison, and the moment you even touch that poison, you cannot be alive. It's that poisonous. It's that deadly.
Does it exist in real life?
It does. It's called the Kalakut poison. Okay.
Then how do we...
We've not done any research on what kind of poisons are available, but you can understand in the general sense, it was the most deadliest, the most poisonous thing on earth. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What about the most deadliest snake's poison?
Most deadliest.
deadliest.
Yeah,
Only
it was.
1 milliliter.
Yeah.
Only 1 drop of his poison can kill up to 20 adult humans.
Wow, imagine. This was worse than that. So Putana is thinking she'll be able to kill Krishna because he's just lying down as an ordinary infant. So she started feeding Krishna. And what did Krishna do? Krishna started sucking her life air. So Krishna, he sucked her life air and she couldn't breathe. And she started screaming, leave me. But Krishna was he was getting his embrace on her tighter and tighter and tighter, and then the life air of Putana just escaped her and she died. But when she was dying, she took her real form because she had dressed up, she had disguised herself, but then she started to perspire, she started to sweat, and her eyes became so big, and her arms and legs started frailing. All the strength in her body left her, and she started screaming. And when she started screaming, she came back to her original form. And what was her original form? She was a demoness, she was a Rakshasi. And then, when she fell, she was so big and so huge. Her body was so big that when she fell, the whole mountain, the whole earth shook. And when she fell, she broke all the trees in. She was so large. She was so big that her body was in Gokul, and
Where's her body now?
her second, I'll tell you what happened to her body. When she fell, she broke all the trees in the orchard of Kansa's garden. So you can imagine how big her body was. So people, when they heard, such a loud sound, they all came running. What has happened? What has happened? And when they saw this big Rakshasi, they said, oh my God, we were entertaining this person. This person walked into Gokul, and look, she was a Rakshasi in disguise. And then people found out so many children had died because she had fed them milk. And then Mother Yashoda and Rohini Mata also were almost fainting when they saw that Krishna was on top of Putana and playing. Krishna was on top of Putana's body and he was playing there and crawling on her body as if she was just a toy. So then, so we understood that nothing happened to Gokul. All the houses and everything were intact.
But how?
See what happened.
Putana was inside.
Yeah, but because Krishna was there in Gokul, he protected all his devotees, all their properties.
But where did Putana go? She's still there.
So what happened to Putana, I tell you. So when you try to harm somebody, then you only get the consequences. Kamsa wanted to harm the entire Gokul, wanted to kill all the children. But what happened? Krishna did not, nobody can kill Krishna. But Putana, what did she do? All the orchards and the farm and the trees of Kamsa totally broke. Nothing happened to Gokul. Gokul was as intact as it was earlier. Understood? So then we should not try to harm.
Putana's body.
So what happened was, because it was such a big body, now they thought that this demoness has come and she had died in Gokul. And all these people are very kind-hearted and they are devotees of the Lord. So what they did is they wanted to do the last rites for Putana. So what they did, because her body was so big that they could not burn it in one go. So they cut her body into pieces and then they set up a pyre and they put her, did the last rites.
Where is that place they did it?
In Gokul. So when Putana's body was burnt, no bad smell came out. Incense was coming out. Like we put agarbatti in our house and nice incense comes, nice smell comes from the incense. So when her body was getting burnt, nice incense was coming out. So people were wondering, my God, she was a demoness. She did such bad things. She had such evil thoughts in her heart. But still, the good smell is coming. This shows that all her sins have been eradicated. And why? Why and how? Because she was touched by Krishna. Krishna removes all the sins. If he comes in our life, he removes all the sins and makes us he purifies us. Got it? So then when Nanda Maharaj was coming back, I told you, we started with that Nanda Maharaj was coming back from Mathura. So when he came, he heard all this story about Putana and all. He also smelled this beautiful smell which was coming from her body, and everybody came to Nanda Maharaj because he was the king of Gokul. Everybody came to him and said, Nanda Maharaj, Krishna was in so much of danger. There was this demoness who came to Gokul and she was trying to kill him by feeding him her poisonous milk.
Then, how did Krishna's friends survive?
She did not go and kill them. She killed some other children, not the cowherd friends which Krishna play with, not those. They were there. So now Nanda Maharaj was like, oh my God, I remember Vasudev had warned me. And Nanda Maharaj is so soft-hearted and he's such a simple person. He is thinking that, Vasudev really has some mystic powers. How did he know that, some evil will happen, some evil thing will happen, some evil incident will happen? I'm sure Vasudev has some mystic power. But we all know how Vasudev knows, because he is in Mathura. He knows what Kansa is planning, right? Right? So now the backstory I'll come to. So now this is how Putana died. But Putana did not go to hell. She actually went back to Golok Vrindavan. She went back to Godhead. She became the maid servant of Yashoda Maiya. She became the nurse of Krishna in the eternal spiritual world. Why? Why? Because even if she had evil thoughts in her heart, Krishna did not see the evil in her heart. Krishna saw that she wants to...
all of us go to Golok, then we can meet her.
Yeah. Krishna saw...
But I will still be scared of her.
Krishna saw that she has come as a mother to me. So he gave her the position of the mother in the eternal world. So we can see how merciful our Lord is. And imagine when a demoness can do such a thing but still get such a great position in the spiritual world, then what about Yashoda Maiya and all the Gopas and the Gopis and all the Vrajvasis who are doing selfless service, who are loving Krishna with all their hearts and minds and bodies?
What did they get?
They went back to spiritual world.
And as the position of?
Like in a position of a friend, as a position of a mother, then the cows and the peacocks, they are in Shantras. Everybody is serving Krishna in the spiritual world, and they are very happy because there is no anxiety, there is no death, birth, old age, disease.
No exams.
Right.
There is no stress.
studies.
Yeah, because the only thing everybody thinks about is Krishna. How to please Krishna, how to love Krishna, how to do everything for Krishna. They don't have their own self-interest in the spiritual world. Like here we always have our own selfish desires. They don't have any selfish desire. All their desires are about Krishna, how to please Krishna. This is the difference between spiritual world and the material world. Okay, but we can make this material world also spiritual if we get Krishna in the center and we do everything for Krishna. Okay, when we study also, we can study for Krishna. We play also, we can stay fit so that we can do devotional service. Everything we have to start thinking how to Krishnaize it. Okay, now coming to the back story. Who was this Putana?
I know. Obviously.
Actually, you know this, there is this demon called Bali. And who is Bali, Bali is the...
Wait.
Vamandev killed.
No, Bali is actually Prahlad Maharaj's grandson. Tanya? Oh, listen. So, Bali is Prahlad Maharaj's grandson. So, Bali Maharaj, when Vamandev came to ask Bali Maharaj for 3 steps, of Bhumi, right? Tanya, we are recording, sit down. So then, next to Bali Maharaj, his sister was also standing. And his sister looked at Vaman Dev, and she had this desire that if I ever have a son, I would want him as my son. Because he's so cute, he's so nice, he's so good looking, he's so full of bliss, you know. She wanted Vaman Dev as a son. But when Vaman Dev took everything from Bali Maharaj, you remember that story? Then she became very, very angry on Vaman Dev. Then she said, if he becomes my son, then I would give him my milk with poison. I would give milk with poison to him. So then Lord is so kind that he fulfilled her desire. Can you imagine? So we have to be very careful what we desire. We should not be envious of the Lord. We should not have hatred for the Lord. Okay, we should love Lord. We should love God so that we can serve him with happiness, with pleasure, not with like having enmity, like how Kansa also remembered the Lord, but he was always remembering Lord with envy and hatred and jealousy. Not like that. Okay, we should do it with love. Switch off that
What?
recording button. Okay. So we will now read the chapter so that it's better and more clear to us. Okay.